this video we're going to see how to add images to our HTML web page or a website. So as we know that the content which we want to display on our website goes inside the body tag. So to add the image to your website, we're going to use a tag called as the image tag. So it goes like this: you write img, then you have the source attribute, and inside this double quotes you're going to write the path of the file, where the file is saved. So I'll give you a tip that is very useful. Whenever you want to add a media such as a video or images or audio to your HTML web page, what you should do is you should create a directory, you should create a folder and all named as media, and add all the images, videos and audios in this one folder. Okay, and you should always put this folder inside this HTML and CSS folder or your project folder. What this helps is, when you have to write the path of the file, it makes it easier for your web browser to search for the file. If this file is placed randomly on your PC or randomly uploaded on the server and it is not in a folder, then it will be very hard for your image to load. Okay, so now I have to write the path of the file in the source attribute. We open this image tag. Now image is a self-closing tag. We do not need another image tag to close this. So we have our image tag. After this we added the src attribute, and inside this double quotes we're going to write the path of the file. Now the path of this file is media, then use a slash and you write the name of the image. It is img.jpg and you save it. Now you can see on the right side of the screen that this image has appeared. If you want to open it up in a browser, just save it, open up your browser, refresh it. We have our title, adding images in HTML, and you can see that all of this images appeared here. It has covered our entire screen. Now another tip that is very helpful is, you should always adjust the pixels of your image. If your image is too large, the browser may take a lot of amount of time to load. Okay, you might have seen that many sites take a huge amount of time to load. That is because their image is not properly adjusted. The pixels of their image is not properly adjusted. Okay, and to add images, you can see that I have used this JPG format. You can use there are 5 or 6 types of format that you can use, but the 3 main important one are, the first one is JPEG, the second is PNG, and the third is GIF. Okay, you can use these 3 are the most used formats. Then there's SVG and another format, but you cannot use images out of these 5 formats that are there, and the 3 main are JPEG, PNG and GIF. Okay, now you can see that this image has covered the entire screen. I cannot see anything. I cannot even see this whole image completely. I have to scroll down and sideways to see this image completely. What if I want this image in a smaller size? Okay, I want this image to be completely visible and I don't want to scroll. So I can do that by adding another attribute. The first is the width attribute. Okay, and inside this double quotes we'll write the value 500 pixels. And you can see that without even saving it, in the preview you can see that this image is now shortened up. The width of the image is just 500 pixels. Okay, and then I again add another attribute, that is height, and I'll give it a height of 500 pixels again. Okay, so now this image is 500 pixels in height and 500 pixels in width. Okay, this is width and this is height. Alright, so we added the first attribute, that is the source attribute. Then we gave it the path of the file which we want to search for. Then we added another attribute, that is the width attribute, to shorten our image. Then we added the height attribute. Now you might wonder, what is this px? So this px is known as pixels, and it is a measurement unit commonly used in HTML. You can also use percentage, and then there's rem, ems. We'll see what those are in the next couple of videos. But right now you can use pixels to adjust your image, right? So always use width and height. Always give your image a width and height so that your image is not too large and it will not take time to load up. Okay. So now the next thing that we're going to see is the alt attribute. So what is an alt attribute? The alt attribute stands for an alternate attribute in which we describe the image to all the users. Now what does that mean? I'll tell you. This is alt attribute. We write equal to in double quotes. Inside this double quotes, I'll write sky painting. Okay, and I'll save this. Now you can see that there's no visible outcome. If you check in your browser, you refresh it, this image is like that, but whatever we wrote in the alt tab, is not visible, right? Sky painting is not visible. Let's go to a editor, and now I'll just change this name. I'll put a wrong name. I'll save it. Now you can see that whatever is in an alt attribute is now visible on the right side of the screen. You can see sky painting. So why should you write this alt attribute? Suppose if someone is disabled, he or she cannot visually see the screen, and they are using a screen reader to read it out for them. When it comes to this image, will it read something? No, right? It will just skip this image. But if you have written an alt attribute, whatever you have written in alt attribute will be read out loud by the screen reader. So that is why you should add this sky painting or this alt tag always in your image tag. Alright, now we saw image, we saw 3 or 4 attributes. Now the next thing that we're going to see is we're going to add an image that is not in our folder. Suppose we want to add an image from the web. So how can we do that? So again, I'll add the image tag, and first let's search for the image that we want to add. So I'll search for sky images. Now I want to add this image, so I click on this image. Now here you can see on the right side that this is the image that I want to add. So what I'll do is, there's an option called as copy image address. Here you can see copy image address. So we'll click on this one, we'll come back to our editor, and inside this source attribute we'll paste this address that we copied. We'll paste this address here. It's a long address. Alright, let's just find another image with a shorter address. Otherwise we use this one. We'll copy the image address, we'll paste it in the source. Okay, this is a smaller one now, and we'll close off this image tag. Now before even saving it, you can see that I've just typed out this and this image has appeared. I haven't even saved the code. You can see that this is still blue. It's blue, it means that I haven't saved the code. Let's Ctrl S. Now I've saved this code. Now let's open it up in a browser. You can see that this image has appeared and it is not adjusted. We haven't given a width, we haven't given it height, so it covers up our entire screen. Now again, what we'll do is, again we'll go after the source attribute, we'll give it a width of 500 pixels, and again we'll give it a height. Let's give it a height of 500 pixels, and then we'll add the alt attribute. Let's say sky image, so that if someone using a screen reader, then it will read it out loud, sky image. We'll save it. Let's open it up in a browser. You can see that both these images are displayed side by side. So this was the image that we added from our folder which we already had. This was the image that we added from the internet. We did not have this image, but we wanted to use this image. Okay, so we added this image. Now the next thing we're going to see is called as the figure tag. What if you have 2 or 3 images that you want to group together? So you can do that by using the figure tag. The figure tag is used to group multiple images together. So let's add a figure tag here, and we'll have a closing figure tag after both of these images. I want to group these images together. Okay, and I'll save it. Now as soon as, I'll show you a difference. Okay, I'll just remove this figure tag. Sorry, I'll remove this figure tag here, and I'll remove this figure tag here, and I'll save this. Now let's open up in a browser. Before adding figure tag, I want to show you how it looks. It looks like this before adding the figure tag. Now let's add our figure tag again, and the ending will add the closing figure tag, and we'll save it. Let's open it up in a browser. As soon as I hit refresh, you can see that on the left side it shifted a little bit to the right, and from the top also it shifted a little bit to the bottom. Now these 2 images are grouped together. These 2 images are not different. This tells a browser, by using the figure tag, we've told a browser that these 2 images are in a group. Earlier the browser did not know, but the browser recognized both of these images as separate images, but by using the figure tag we told the browser that these 2 are in a group. Okay, now the next thing we're going to see is called as the fig caption. Okay, now let's add a fig caption after the first image. and we'll write sky painting, and we'll close this fig caption. And again after this one, again we'll add one fig caption. I'll tell you what fig caption is. Let's just add one. Yes, sky painting 2. Okay, and I'll close off this fig caption. Okay, and I'll save it. You can see on the right side of the screen that below this first image we have a fig caption called as sky painting, so it appeared here, and after this image we have sky painting 2, so this appeared here. So what this did, it gives a title to our image, okay, or a caption to our image. We can also use this fig caption tag so that when our visually impaired readers, when someone who's using a screen reader comes to this image, and even if we don't have an alt tag and we added a fig caption, it will read out loud the sky painting for the first one, and for the second one it will read out sky painting 2. Okay, now let's check it in our browser. So you can see that for the first image we have sky painting, and for the second image we have sky painting 2. So even if you forgot to add alternate tag but you added fig caption tag, both the alt tag and the fig caption tag does the same thing. The only difference is when you write the alt tag, it is not visible on the screen, but when this image is being read out by the screen reader, it will read out loud that this is a sky painting, and fig caption displays the whatever we've written inside the fig caption on the screen. So make sure that you always use the alt attribute when you're not using this fig caption, or if you're using a fig caption, then also it's okay to use alt attribute, and it is preferred to use that alt attribute so that it is accessible to all kinds of users. Okay, so now we saw how to add an image which was already in the folder, then we saw how to add an image from the web, then we saw how to group images together using the figure tag, and then we saw the fig caption tag. Okay, so that was it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next video.